Hey guys, how you doing? Today is July 18, Friday. We will talk about Netflix. She just announced the result yesterday on 17, and she performs well, right? I've been misjudged Netflix, right? If I judged it correctly, I should have bought her stock about 3 years before. Then it may rise for I think should be one time already. That means a double. But no matter what, right? We bought a lot of stock. Then we could not have every time we judged it correctly, right? We only need to judge it correctly. 70% is very good already, right? We are not looking for 100%, right? But no matter what, then after these few years, while the pandemic, a lot of things happened, then Netflix proved that she's okay. She performs well, right? So today we will go through the performance report today. And our Falcon portfolio been raised back to the peak, right? 133%, right? After 76 months, right? So for any of you have any questions, then you can list your question under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. This is our coverage, right? Netflix performs good. Yesterday, Dow Jones rised another 229 points and closed at 44,484, right? A lot of fall. Same to Nasdaq, rised at 155 points, closed at 20,885. And this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. We can see that then this portfolio been rised back to her peak, 133%, because that applied material rised back again after that drop, right? We bought it at 187, and then it dropped it because of the policy of U.S. government. It dropped it to 140 something, and then it rised back. Then this is really after half year, right? We patiently waited for half year, and then it rises back, right? Then hope we can rise again more sharply, right? So we go through some headlines, right? S&P 500 rise to a new closing record, right? And then some of the today we will have the American Express, right? A lot of Coca-Cola, a lot of big company will announce the result. Then we'll see then, right? Japan's core inflation, right, cools in June, right? Because in last month, right, the core inflation rate quieted to 3.4% because of the price rise up, but this month been eased, so the core inflation, right, and down to 3.3%, right, coming down from 3.5 in May. That's better. That is a common problem now, right, in the short video or even in the music. Because the AI can generate the music, no matter it's good hearing or not good hearing, right? That is music AI platform called Velvet Sundown, right? Velvet Sundown, right? And then that is AI generated music platform, right? And it's going viral, right? That means poison, right? It will kill a lot of real human song making, music making, right? You can see that with more than 1 million monthly listeners on the Spotify, right? And that Velvet Sundown is racking in thousands of dollars, and has the music industry asking itself tough questions. And they are not about whether the 70s are coming back, right? They're not asking back, does the 70s music come back, right? We come here from that era, right? 70s music, 80s music, right? 90s music, something like that, right? And the AI, they can copy the song and then regenerate it, right? It may be close to the original, maybe not close. Maybe close to 2 or 3 originals and then make a new song, right? Because that is an AI, very easy for the songs, for the videos. That is a big rival to Spotify and all the true musics, right? That's what we are facing today. Elon Musk, Neuralink, actually Neuralink is for health, right? That is a system connect your nerve system, right, to the computer, right? That's what I've learned, right? And founded as disadvantaged business before being valued at $9 billion US, right? So, right, we'll see, right? I'm sure still have a long way to go because the human nerve is very complicated, right? This will need a lot of testing, right? How to human brain nerve system is very complicated, very, very complicated, right? Even you know the signal, then you know what it means, right? You don't know what it means, right? So in this still needs a lot of work to go. Jensen, right, of NVIDIA, and he was in China yesterday, right? And then if Jensen were a student today, which subject he will take? And then he said it's the physical science. I think that he is going to boost the robots, right? He's going to boost the robots, right? And he mentioned that physical science than the software science, right? That means then about robot arms, robot legs, right? The robots can lift the things, right? Robots can do more things, right? Simple driving, picking up the drivers, painting, right? And then scanning on the walls, see the building, the dimensions are correct, right? So what Jensen said is he will focus on the physical science. That may be the future 10 years that the whole world needs. TSMC, very good, right? You can see that the profit surged 61% to the record high because the AI demand, right? That is what is being talked about by Jensen, right? About by Elon Musk, right? All of what they are talking about is the calculation, a vast calculation, data center, quick calculation, high performance computing, right? A lot of energy, right? A lot of those things then, and they need the TSMC to be more precise, to be more complicated, right? The things are small but can handle more things, right? A lot more things, right? Like your cell phone, right? Have million of decisions inside, right? So you can see that TSMC's net revenue in the June rose 38.65% from a year ago, right? And you can see that on yesterday, then the rise in second quarter profit is 61% from a YOY, right? And the revenue beat it 931.24 billion new Taiwan dollars, right? And becomes 933.8 billion new Taiwan dollar. But even though for that 931 is a huge figure, right? And then the net income about more than 30%, right? About 40-something%, right, of the net income is 398.27 billion NT against 377.86 billion NT, right? Still breaks the performance, breaks the expectation, right? And it surged 38.65% from 1 year before, right? We will elaborate this in our charter program in Hong Kong, right? Okay, we talk about Netflix. Whenever you have that service or that product and you are satisfied, then you should consider to buy the stock, right? This is what I've learned. I repeat, whenever you use the product or the service and you are satisfied, then you should consider to buy the stock, right? That is the one of the stock that I missed is Netflix, because I subscribed to the Netflix for a long time already, right? Every month is about 12 to 13 US dollar, right? No advertisement, right, in Hong Kong, right? And just me and my wife in the house then watch for that, right? Then we can see that actually then she announced the Q2 earning already, right? PE ratio is 60 but not high. I will explain why, right? In the past 5 years, then the stock price rises by 1.5 times, right? It's more than 1,000 already, right? 12,074. And in the past 1 year, nearly double, 98%. And even in the past half years, stock price rises by 46%, right? That means totally despite of the tariff from Donald Trump, right? See that in this quarter, the second quarter of this year, no matter it's the revenue or the earnings per share beat the consensus, right? And in the coming quarter, right, revenue a little bit better, but the earnings per share drops a little bit, right? Maybe because of the quarter effect, right? And for the whole year of 25, right, the revenue is about 44.8 to 45.2 revenue, with operating margin is 29.5, right? It's not bad. We can quickly review on the figures. I get it from the filing on SEC, right? Revenue, right, increased from 9.5 1 year before billion US dollar to 11, right? 9.5 to 11, and the net income increased from 2.1 to 3.1. That increased by 47%. That is terrific, right? And then two figures performs really well, right? Net cash provided by operating activity increased the double from 1.2 billion to 2.4. And the free cash flow increased from 1.2 1 year before to 2.2, nearly a double. So that two figures performs really well. All of them from the region breakdown, no matter is the Canada and the US, right? The revenue growth 15% in the past 1 year, in the past one quarter, 15%, 1.5, right? Europe 18% increment. Latin America still has 9%. And while in Asia, the revenue growth of this quarter to 1 year before is 24%. Oh my goodness, right? 24%, right? This is a big figure. And then for the current asset, right? A little bit complicated, right? Current asset is 11.9 billion US dollar, right? The current liability is only 8.9, right? That is enough to cover. And we will see there is long-term debt, 14.4 billion US dollar, right? That is not enough for the balance of the current asset to cover. And her annual net profit is 12.6 billion US dollar. That is enough, right? Because you no need to pay in one time, right? You just pay bit by bit, depends on the mature day, and then maybe you issue another debt, right? So balance sheet is okay, no problem. Cash flow from operating activity, we go through it already, right? Now this quarter is 2.4 billion US dollar compared with 1 year before only 1.29, increased more than double, right? So the forward PE now is 48, right? And the real PE now is 60. And remember that this quarter, the net income increased by 47%, right? So this price, 1,274, seems a fair price, right? Not has a lot of premium. If we examine the forward PE is only 48, that means exactly as the net income increment for this quarter. So now Netflix is not very expensive, right? Not very expensive, right? And I think that then she will continue to grow, right? If she renew more, one thing that I think that, right? If I stay in Hong Kong, right, then I should be able to watch more other regions Netflix, right? Like Japan, like UK. Now is you know that is limited, right? If I station in Hong Kong, then some of the Netflix in the overseas countries I can't see. If she can delete those or right, delete those limits, right? That means I can watch the whole Netflix on the whole world, all the countries. Then I think that I can pay a little bit more to her, right? And I think that some of the net income come from the advertisement, right? But not come from the games. I know that there are some games, right? But they are, forget about it, right? Then you won't pay it, right? Trust me, you won't pay it, right? But some of the income definitely come from the advertisement. And she was proved to be successful. But the people will willing to pay less, right, to watch the advertisement, right? Some of the people, right, maybe $50, and now I'm paying 88 Hong Kong dollars per month. Some may pay, oh, I will pay 55 Hong Kong dollars per month, then I will watch the advertisement, right? Because the advertisement then bring a lot of income to Netflix. She is successful, right? So I'm looking forward then she will delete those constraints, right, for me to watch the other countries Netflix, right, like Japan, right, like Japan or UK or India, right? Okay, thanks guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, appreciate it, right? So I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you guys on next Friday. Bye bye.